Good morning to all and welcome to the session, the Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. Today's editorial is all about political developments in Jharkhand. When you ask a question, what is this editorial about? Editorial is about the political developments in the Indian state of Jharkhand, specifically focusing on the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha JMM and its allies, the Congress and the Rashtriya Janata Dal RJD. So it's all about the political developments in the state of Jharkhand. What is the tone of the editorial? The tone of the editorial appears to be a mix of appreciation for certain decisions made by the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha JMM and its allies, along with, because a mix, along with a cautious and critical perspective on certain aspects. There are two dimensions over here. One, appreciation, the other one, critical analysis. The tone is a mix of appreciation for certain decisions made by JMM and its allies, along with a cautious and critical perspective on certain aspects. Cautious and critical. Cautious means a careful, an important word. There is one expression you have to know based on the editorial says a mix of something. When you watch something, when you do something, or when you get exposed to something, imagine you have both positive and negative feelings. Then you have to say, I have mixed feelings. What is the expression? Mixed feelings. That's an important expression you have to know. Let us go to the editorial. Winning trust. Last week I did one editorial related to the state of Jharkhand. The CM was arrested that time. The CM was arrested and there was uncertainty regarding the new CM. There is a second editorial related to the state of Jharkhand and winning trust. The new CM from the same party, winning trust. This is a backdrop on Jharkhand's political storm. Why the word political storm? Because the CM was arrested, not the incumbent CM, earlier CM, predecessor, was arrested, and it was like a political storm. But what is the main idea of this editorial? JMM and its allies found a viable way out of the Hemant Soren arrest ordeal. Yesterday, I felt the same slide, the text, the words are a little congested. So today I'm going to present the words on the next slide. Then we'll come back. There are three important words you have to learn. Then you can understand the meaning of the sentence. What are the three words? Allies, viable, ordeal. First one here, ally singular, allies plural, part of speech noun. A state formally cooperating with another for a military or other purpose. A particular organization, a particular state cooperates with some other organization, some other country, some other party. Then we use the term ally singular, allies plural. Viable, an important word, part of speech adjective. Capable of working, functioning, or developing adequately. Something is capable of developing adequately, then we use the word viable. I don't know how many among those who are watching this video, I'm sure there are many students who are preparing for bank exams. If you are preparing for bank exams, SSC also, there's one important combination you have to know. That is, imagine tomorrow you get the job and someone bank job, someone comes to you with a project, then you look at the project from a particular perspective. What is that perspective? You see whether it is commercially viable project or not. Commercially viable. Commercially viable means commercially feasible. What is the meaning of the word viable? Feasible. This is an important word you have to know. Viable, feasible. Here, viable, capable of working, functioning, or developing adequately. The third word you have to learn, ordeal, part of speech noun, a very unpleasant and prolonged experience. Unpleasant at the same time prolonged means extended experience. We use the word ordeal. Now we'll go back to the sentence. What is the main idea? JMM and its allies found a viable way out, means found a solution to withstand the storm of the Hemant Soren's arrest ordeal, means the trouble, the pain, the unpleasant situation. They could somehow manage to come out of that situation. That's what the sentence means. That is the main idea of the editorial. Now we'll go to, by nominating, how could they come out of the storm? How could they find a viable way out of the political storm? By nominating Champai Soren to the position of Chief Minister and ensuring a convincing win in the trust vote, the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha and its allies, the Congress and the Rashtriya Janata Dal, did well to weather the storm after the resignation of Hemant Soren over corruption charges. As I said, the predecessor, Hemant Soren, had to resign because he was arrested based on the corruption charges. Subsequent to that, there was a vote of trust, and they could somehow manage to come out of that storm. The sentence talks about that. By nominating, how could they come out of the storm or weather the storm? There's one important idiom over here, weather the storm. Weather the storm means to survive a difficult situation or period without being seriously harmed or very badly affected by it. Imagine you are exposed to a particular bad situation, an unpleasant situation. You manage to come out of that. Then we say you could weather the storm. An important, yes, very unpleasant ordeal. And weather the storm, important idiom. Generally, I tell students we have two types of students or learners, passive learners, active learners. Passive learners, whatever they come across, they take that. But active learners, they take whatever comes across. Besides, they look at the sentence or the question, ask the question, what else can I learn from this? What else can I recollect from this? If you take this idiom, there's one important word, whether. As a smart learner, active learner, you have to immediately, not now, after the session, you have to recollect what are the important idioms that go with the weather. For example, it is raining heavily. What do you say? It is raining cats and dogs. One idiom you have to recollect. Tomorrow you get the job. You will be on cloud nine. Cloud nine means what? Extremely happy. So you have to recollect all the related idioms. That is nothing but smart learning. We'll go back to the slide, the actual sentence. By nominating Champai Soren to the position of Chief Minister and ensuring a convincing win in the trust vote. It's all about the trust vote they could manage. They have come out successfully. The Jharkhand Mukti Morcha and its allies, the Congress and the Rashtriya Janata Dal, did well to weather the storm. There was an unpleasant situation. What was the unpleasant situation? The predecessor of this particular CM, Soren, Hemant Soren, had to resign because of corruption charges. There was something like vacuum created because of that, and it was an unpleasant situation. They could weather the storm, they could withstand the unpleasant situation after the resignation of Hemant Soren over corruption charges. A lengthy sentence, but easy to understand. There is one expression here, did well. I told yesterday also, when you listen or read a particular editorial, you have to take a holistic approach. What is the meaning of holistic? Holistic approach. Holistic approach means you have to take all the dimensions into consideration and you have to learn something. That is known as holistic approach. And when you want to learn a particular concept, a particular topic, you should always take the holistic approach. When you read the editorial, what is holistic approach? You have to focus on comprehension skill. you have to focus on contextual awareness, you have to focus on vocabulary, you have to focus on grammar consolidation. Here, did well, that is an important expression. You may ask why. A lot of people say he has done good. Answer my question, is this sentence right or wrong? He has done good. A common error, he has done good. She has done the work good. It is not correct. Why is it wrong? Here he has done. This is a verb. Ask the question how. Then we have to use an adverb of manner, but good is an adjective. What is the adverb of manner? Well. So, what is the correct sentence? He has done well. He has done well. He has done good, not correct. That you have to recollect. Weather the storm to survive a difficult situation or period without being seriously harmed or very badly affected by it. The predominantly tribal populated Jharkhand remains one of just a few states that have not been wrested by the Bharatiya Janata Party ever since the beginning of what political scientists call the era of the BJP dominated party system in northern India. Again, a lengthy sentence, but what does it say? What does it convey? The predominantly, it talks about this particular state, Jharkhand. If you take this state, the predominant group, tribals, based on that, here we have predominantly arrested era. I'll give the meanings, then we'll come back here. Three words, predominantly, obviously it is an adverb. Any word that, though exceptions are there, any word that ends in ly, usually an adverb. Mainly, for the most part, predominantly means mainly. Arrest, it's a regular verb. Arrest, arrested, arrested. Forcibly pull something from a person's grasp. I'm holding something, someone comes and pulls it. That is known as arrest. Era, part of speech noun, a long and distinct period of history. It goes with the time period. The predominantly tribal populated Jharkhand. If you take Jharkhand, the main major chunk tribal people, based on that, the predominantly tribal populated Jharkhand remains one of just a few states that haven't been wrested by. Here, a few states are there haven't been wrested by the BJP. It is one of those states. Remains one of just a few states that haven't been wrested. Answer my question, haven't been arrested. Which tense is that? First question. Second question, is it active voice or passive voice? Here, this is in present perfect. Present perfect tense. Passive voice. Present perfect tense, passive voice. Haven't been wrested by the BJP ever since the beginning of what political scientists call the era of the BJP dominated party system in northern India. If you take the northern belt dominated by BJP and political scientists, they have they have coined a term called the era of the BJP dominated party system, the time of domination of BJP party, and this is one state that has remained not taken by the BJP. That's what the sentence says. One of just a few states that haven't been wrested by the BJP ever since the beginning of BJP's domination. What political scientists call the era of the BJP dominated party system in northern India. It is to the JMM's leadership's credit that it sought to elevate a leader who played a major role in the state's formation after its bifurcation from Bihar, rather than appointing another family member. An important expression. I hope you will respond. Another family member, even if this was a decision taken under duress and avoiding the impression that it was a Shibu and Hemant Soren led family that would rule by proxy. There are two words here. First, I will give the meanings of the two words, then we'll come back to this. What are the two words you have to look at? One is duress, an important word, not a regular word, so you have to spend some time to remember. Part of speech noun, threats used to force a person to do something. You use threat to force someone to do something, that is known as duress. It takes a preposition, it takes the word under duress. It's a typical combination. What is the second word here? Proxy. Part of speech, noun or adjective. It can be, very good, present perfect, but passive voice. Do remember. And what is the meaning of proxy? A person authorized to act for another. In place of you, someone else takes the test. Then it is known as proxy. Two important words. We'll have a look at the text. It is to the JMM's leadership's credit. That means something good. What is it? It sought to elevate a leader who played a major role in the state's formation. Who is the present CM? A leader who played a vital or crucial role in the formation of the state, Jharkhand, after its bifurcation from Bihar. Instead of selecting a member of family, they have chosen a leader who played a vital role in the formation of the state rather than appointing another family member. Now, I told you, I expected you guys to respond. Usually, regular classes offline, I tell students, family members not correct. What is the correct expression? Members of family. Members of family. Now, you may wonder, so how come in the Hindu paper, family members, you say it is not correct? How come we see family members? Do remember, there are three things you have to keep in mind while preparing for competitive exams. They are not valid from the exam point of view. One, whatever goes with conversational English, not valid from the exam point of view. For example, imagine there's a knock on the door. I say, who is that? A typical answer, it's me. Conversation English. But it is wrong. We have to say, it is I. If you say it is I, people may think something is wrong with your English. But that is what you're supposed to say. What is the reason? What is the rule behind? After a helping verb, what is the helping verb here? Is. If you have to use a pronoun, that should be in the subject form, not in the object form. It is me, object form. It is I, subject form. We have to use the subject form. Conversational English, not acceptable. Second thing, whatever goes with American English, not acceptable from the exam point of view. For example, what is the spelling of color? COLOUR. But if you take American spelling, COLOR, that is not valid from the exam point of view. The third one in this context, if you take any language has birth, growth, and death. Today, if you take Latin, it is considered a dead language. Prakrit in our own country, a dead language. So birth, growth, death. They keep changing, they're dynamic. And whatever you see in the Hindu paper, it goes with what I call current English or modern English. Whatever comes under current English or modern English is not valid from the exam point of view. Exam point of view, this is wrong. What are you supposed to say? I appreciate Chaitanya has, not Chaitanya, who is that? Divya has written members of family, not family members. So, what they have done, they have elected, they have chosen a person, a political leader who played a vital role when it comes to the formation of the state. That is highly appreciable, a good decision. They did not resort to family politics. They did not select member of a family. Had they done that, it would have been a wrong decision. That's what the sentence says. Rather than appointing another family member or another member of the family, even if even if this was a decision taken under duress, may not be the first choice. First choice, member of family. Under pressure, under threat, they must have taken this decision. Still, good decision. And avoiding the impression that it was a Shibu and Hemant Soren led family that would rule by proxy. They avoided a particular impression. What is that impression? They select someone, and being behind, they try to control everything. That is nothing but proxy. So they could avoid that impression. They have selected, or they have chosen a leader who played a vital role in the formation of the state. This, in a way, bucked the trend. An idiomatic expression, buck the trend. What does it mean? First, I'll show the meaning, then we'll come back to the sentence. Buck the trend, idiom, to go against the norm or the current stand of the main population. Everyone does something, you don't do that. That means what? You buck the trend. You don't follow the what others do. Buck the trend to go against the norm or the current stand of the main population. This, in a way, bucked the trend in most regional parties. When it comes to regional parties, what is a trend? If not the father, the son. If not the son, someone else. It is all around the family. That trend has been bucked. Where power tends to concentrate in the families of its most popular leaders, regional parties, this is a trend. Either due to the fact that this allows party finances to be controlled. Imagine member of family, not the father, the son becomes the head of the party and becomes the CM. Obviously, the financial aspects are under the control of the family, to be controlled by those closest to the leadership, or because such parties are unable to evolve into cadre based, ideology driven units. This is an important sentence in the sense there are two dimensions. One dimension, when it comes to a particular regional party, usually one person is very popular, the father, and something goes wrong. Then they try to pass it on, the power, to the son or wife. This is a usual trend. But in this context, there's another dimension. What is it? They do it. Why do they do it? Because if you take a particular party, the cadre has to be very strong. When it comes to a regional party, it is based on a particular person and unable to evolve into cadre based. The cadre based means the political, the members of the party, ideology driven units. Because they're not based on these, eventually they have to give it to one of the members of the family. By catapulting the Champai Soren to the helm of the governance, the JMM signaled a return to its past when it was more a movement and less a typical party. There are two or three words here. First, I'll take this sentence, then one more is there, rift. We'll see the meanings, then we'll come back to this. What are the meanings of these words? Catapult, to throw someone or something with great force. You are here, you are thrown from here to some other place with great force. That means you have been catapulted. Usually it goes with the progress of a company. Imagine a particular company initially 10 crores. They get a big contract, then suddenly the turnover goes to 1,000 crores. That means the contract has catapulted the company from a small company to a big company. An important word. Part of speech verb. Helm. Helm, at the helm, usually. It can be a noun, it can be a verb, officially controlling an organization or company. If you take a particular state, who is at the helm? The CM is at the helm. He is the one who controls. An important word. Typical, I use this regularly. Typical Indian, typical South Indian, typical student, typical candidate means what? Average, having the distinctive qualities of a particular type of person or thing. You can simply remember the word average. A rift, part of speech noun, something that divides the partners or friends. Imagine there are partners, there are friends, a particular issue, a dispute. Dispute, there are two idioms many of our students know. One is bone of contention, the other one, apple of discord. Because of this bone of contention or apple of discord, there is a rift. Means what? Something that divides, a gap between the companies or groups or friends or political parties. We'll go back to the sentence, so many words are there. And second, I'm sorry, by catapulting Champai Soren to the helm of the governance, they could make him the CM. The JMM signaled a return to its past. a return, signal a return to its past. What is that past? It was more a movement and less a typical party. Actually, it was not a party, not a typical party, it was a movement. By choosing the person who played a vital role, it went back to its past. Yet, yet is a contrasting word, an important word. It expresses contrast. Yet, two issues should worry the party. There are two issues they have to worry about. What are the two issues? His appointment was also made possible because of a family rift. As I said, not the first choice. There was a rift in the family. Because of that, on second thoughts, they chose this person. That has to be kept in mind. His appointment was also made possible because of a family rift over the possible candidature of Kalpana Soren, the wife of the previous CM, Hemant Soren's wife. Because of the rift, he was chosen, not the first choice. That has to be kept in mind. One issue to worry about. Let us see what the other issue is. And the second, the unedifying sight of MLAs being transported to Congress ruled Telangana suggests that the ruling alliance was not so sure of ideological leanings, acting as a glue to keep its flock together, a phenomenon that has become sadly true of many politicians in India. The sentence talks about whenever the government changes, whenever there's a new leader, some MPs or some MLAs at the local level, regional level, MLAs, they try to jump the party. They try to shift from one party to another party. And they have to make sure all the MLAs are together. This sentence talks about that. And the second issue they have to worry about, the unedifying, there are two words, I'll give the meanings and we'll come back. Unedifying part of speech adjective, especially of an event taking place in public, distasteful or unpleasant. Unedifying means what? Unpleasant. The other word, leanings, a tendency or partiality of a particular kind. In this context, you can think tendency. And second, the unedifying, unpleasant sight of MLAs being transported. It is in present continuous passive voice. Being transported to Congress ruled Telangana suggests MLAs are being transported to Telangana. What is the reason behind it? What does it suggest? Suggests that the ruling alliance was not so sure about of ideological leanings, means ideological bonding tendency, acting as a glue. Glue means gum to keep its flock together. There is a strong ideology, they stay together. But the ideology is not strong enough, they may get scattered. Keeping that in mind, they started transporting MLAs to the neighboring state of Telangana, where Congress is in power. A phenomenon, an important word. Tell me why is it important? Phenomenon. If you take English, English has borrowed a lot of words from Latin and Greek. Nouns of Latin and Greek origin do not take S or ES. Usually in English, we change a singular noun to a plural noun by adding S or ES, like boy, boys, student, students, girl, girls. But nouns of Latin and Greek origin, they don't follow this rule. And some nouns of Latin and Greek origin, very important from the exam point of view. I will list out here. First one is criterion. What is a plural? Criteria. In this context, phenomenon, singular. What is a plural? Phenomena. Criterion, phenomenon. And there's so many. Memorandum, singular, memoranda, plural. Alumnus, singular, alumni or alumni, plural. Syllabus, singular, syllabi, plural. A radius, a radii. Stratum, strata. Medium, media or mediums. Datum, data. But data can also be a collective noun. All these you have to recollect as a smart learner. The two issues the editorial discusses. Hemant Soren's resignation would also have been welcomed in normal circumstances where anyone in government should give up power if they face serious corruption charges, as he did in a purported land scam. What does it say? Normal situation if someone is accused of corruption charges or there's an allegation about that person taking becoming a corrupt minister or a corrupt person, he has to, morally speaking, he or she has to resign. Hemant Soren's resignation would also have been welcomed, an important pattern you have to remember. In normal circumstances, where anyone in government should give up. Give up means what? You have to stop doing something. Let me give the meanings, then we'll come back. Give up is a phrasal verb, stop trying. You can also think of words like yield, surrender, and purported, appear to be or do something, especially falsely. Appear to do something, but not in the real sense, falsely. Scam, a dishonest scheme of fraud. Hemant Soren's resignation would also have been welcomed in normal circumstances where anyone in government should give up power. Anyone in government should give up power. Focus, posi, very good. Where anyone in government should give up power if they face serious corruption charges, as he did. He faced serious corruption charges as he did in a purported land scam. That is what one is supposed to do. But the fact that the union government has used its law enforcement agencies, such as the Enforcement Directorate, less as weapons against corruption and more as a tool to browbeat any opposition, gives cause for pause. Now look at this. Gives cause for pause. A lengthy sentence, but not that difficult to understand. But the fact that the union government has used its law enforcement agencies, like what? Such as the Enforcement Directorate, less as weapons against corruption. They're supposed to use these agencies against corruption, but less as weapons against corruption and more as a tool to browbeat any opposition. This trend gives cause for pause. Browbeat means intimidate. Intimidate means frighten. Intimidate someone typically into doing something with stern abusive words. Generally, intimidation means a frightening. Intimidate so many ways, using power, using money, using so many anything you intimidate. An important word. Regardless of this, Mr. Soren's case must be thoroughly investigated. Must be thoroughly investigated. It is in passive voice and should not be subject to the vagaries of political outcomes, such as a retention of power by the JMM and its allies. They should investigate. The editorial says, regardless of this, Mr. Soren's case must be thoroughly investigated and should not be subject to the vagaries of political outcomes, such as a retention of power by the JMM and its allies. Irrespective of that, it has to be, they have to investigate. And there are two words over here. What are the two words? Vagaries, part of speech, no, it is a noun. An unexpected and inexplicable change in a situation or in someone's behavior. Vagary, something unpredictable, not able to, you cannot predict someone's behavior, then you can say vagary. It also goes with weather. Retain is a verb form, retention is a noun form. Hold something, keep something, and it talks about irrespective of the outcomes, they have to investigate. In a way, the development should compel the JMM led government to reorient its focus on governance. What is it supposed to do? The present government with the new CM should reorient its focus on governance, should focus on governance in one of India's most mineral rich but materially poor states. Jharkhand is rich in minerals but materially poor, and that will be its best answer to the questions raised about it following the arrest. What is it supposed to do? It has to focus on governance. And it's a state where rich in minerals but materially poor. And when it focuses on governance, that will be the best answer to the questions raised about it following the arrest. Because the main person was arrested. What is the best way to answer? Focus on governance. I think it ends on that particular. Compel means to force. It ends on that note, I suppose. Let's have a look. Yes. That's all about this editorial. Now let us go to the questions based on comprehension. You have been listening to me. Now it is time for you guys to answer. When you answer during a live session, after listening to someone, if you can get the right one, the correct answer, obviously you're a good listener and you're good at comprehension skill. Read the first one and try to answer. Yes, vagary, whim also you can say, pallu, that's right. Influence, compel. Compel is a better word, Jagdishwari. Influence also you can say. Why not? Very good. Please read the first question. What is the editorial's perspective on JMM's decision to appoint Champai Soren as chief minister? What is the editorial's perspective? You have to look at the key words. I see some students have answered. I think they say D. Criticism for choosing a leader, no. Appreciation for breaking the trend of family centric politics, hold this one. Indifference towards the leadership change. Disapproval for appointing another family member, no. Answer cannot be D. What is the answer here? What is the editorial's perspective on the JMM's decision to appoint Champai Soren as chief minister? Answer is appreciation for breaking the trend of family centric politics. Answer is B, not D. B is the answer. No problem. Go to the next one. What raised concerns in the editorial regarding Champai Soren's appointment? Something raised concerns. Based on that, he was appointed. Now I see 1B. Lack of experience in stage governance, family rift over the candidature of Kalpana Soren, strong ideological differences within the ruling alliance, excessive influence of central government agencies. Regarding his appointment, this is not that easy. Very good. Some students have answered. I think they have got it right. Family rift over the candidature of Kalpana Soren. That resulted in the making this person the CM. Answer is B. Go to question number 3. In which state were MLAs reportedly transported, raising questions about the ruling alliance's cohesion? Cohesion means a unity, an important word. In which state were MLAs reportedly transported? Better would have been, it would have been to which state? To which state were MLAs reportedly transported, raising questions about the ruling alliance's cohesion? Easy to answer. Telangana is the answer. Question number 4. According to the editorial, what is the concern regarding the union government's use of law enforcement agencies? Focus on the key words: efficient handling of corruption cases, misuse to target political opposition, transparency in investigations, encouraging fair political competition. So, what is the answer here? Editorial says misuse to target political opposition. Question number 4, C is the answer. Yes, a lot of students have got it right. Let us go to the last question. What does the editorial suggest should be the JMM led government's focus? Now, what should be the focus on the new chief minister, the new government, according to the editorial, or what does the editorial suggest should be the JMM led government's focus in response to the questions raised after Hemant Soren's resignation? So, where should the focus be on? Easy to answer, not that difficult. 5C. What is C here? Political maneuvering, not correct. Ideological battles, not correct. Family centric policies, not correct. The editorial clearly suggests now the current government, the regime, should focus on governance. Answer is C. Very good. I appreciate that. Let us go to the most important slide. The words you got. Yesterday you got 18 words. All that you have to do, write the part of speech, write the keyword. Entire meaning you don't have to write. Write the keywords. That is more than enough. Travesty, first word. If one student responds, then I will tick that one. Then I will go to the next one. We are running out of time. Try to respond quickly. Travesty, first you have to write the part of speech, then you have to write the meaning keywords and recollect the how it was used in the editorial, the context, the combination, the word form, everything important. No one has responded. Noun, that is true, but not simply absurd. Absurd representation of something. Absurd representation of something. Good. Grave. Grave has two different meanings, but based on the editorial, the context, you try to write the meaning. Part of speech, based on the editorial, here it is a noun. Here it has been used as an adjective. Grave situation, grave problem. That means the adjective. What does it mean? Cheap, mockery. Yes, you could write those words. Serious. That is true. Mention the number one, two, three. Then I can respond. Third one, implications. Implications, obviously, noun. And you have to recollect the verb form. What is the verb form? Imply, implied, implications. Implication means conclusions that can be drawn based on what is said but not stated directly. In a way, you have to recollect two words: implicit information, explicit information. Explicit means direct, mentioned in the text or the passage or the editorial. Implicit, not directly mentioned but conveyed indirectly. Imply, very good. Manipulate, part of speech, verb. Manipulation, noun. Manipulate means what? Yes, it is a verb. I have already written, but what does it mean? Control, use a situation in your to your advantage, use a person to your advantage, manipulate something or manipulate someone. Stinging, in the context of the editorial, adjective. Sting can be a verb, can be a noun. In this context, adjective. Kiran, please mention the word number. Only then I can say right or wrong. I will be able to appreciate. If you write the word without the number, I don't know for which word you're responding. Stinging, harsh. Context of the editorial, it goes with criticism. Harsh criticism, stinging, cruel or harsh. Very good. Appalling, part of speech, adjective. Appalling incident. What does it mean? Appalling does not mean perhaps you are talking about stinging. Appalling means a shocking and very bad. Shocking and very bad. Both you have to write. Deface, part of speech, worm. Deface is what? Worm. Yes, shocking and very bad. Go to the next one, deface. Deface is a verb, spoil the appearance of something either by writing on it or scribbling on it. Hmm. Spoil the surface or appearance of something. Very good. Jagadeshwari. Wonderful. You should also recollect vandalism. Who is that? Krishna. Vandalism, deface, graffiti, all are related words. Defer means what? Postpone. Very good. Someone has already answered. Jagadeshwari again. Postpone. Delay. Disclose is also a verb. Disclose, reveal. What does it mean? You can say procrastinate. Who is that? Pavani. Very good. Procrastinate, an important word. Postpone, delay, simple words. Procrastinate, effective word. Good that you have used that word. Disclose means what? To make something public, to reveal, to make something public, to make known. It goes with secrets and information. Mockery of something, mockery, noun. In the context of the editorial, mockery of democracy. What does it mean? Reveal a secret, disclose a secret, make information public. No one has answered mockery. Mockery means a ridicule, mockery of democracy, ridiculing democracy. Absurd, okay. Functionary, part of speech, noun. He is a party functionary. What does it mean? Party official, one who does official duties for the party or for the government. Usually a person, functionary, official. Allege is a verb. Yes, official. One word, that is enough. And part of speech is a noun. Official person. Yes. Go to the next one. Allege is a verb form, allegation, noun form. Means what? 12, it is a verb. But what is the meaning? Accuse, you have written the synonym in a way that's good. Allege, say that someone has done something wrong or illegal without proof. Go to the next one. Put off. Put off is what? A phrasal verb. Put off is a phrasal verb. What does it mean? Put off the meeting, put off the event, put off the match. Postpone. Very good. Simple. Dubious, an important word, part of speech, adjective. I gave one combination yesterday. Dubious distinction. Dubious means what? Phrasal verb, not a phrasal verb. What is the meaning of dubious? Doubtful. Pavani, very good. One word, doubtful. Perfect. Please go to the next word, presumably. Part of speech, obviously, adverb. It comes from the word presume. Presume, presumably. Part of speech, adverb, not adjective, adverb. Probably. What does it mean? Probably. Brazenly. Again, adverb. Usually in English, if a particular word ends in the letters ly, adverb. But do remember exceptions are there. Brazenly means what? Openly, shamelessly. Openly and shamelessly. 16, brazenly. 15 over. Go to the next one. Probably is the right word. But brazenly means what? In a bold and shameless way. Very good, Jagdishwari. Perfect. Now go to the next one, rig. Rigging. Rigging is a noun form, rig is a verb form. It goes with elections. Rigging at the time of elections. Answer word number 17. It is a verb beyond any doubt. But rig, a different meaning there, it is a noun. But here, verb. What does it mean? Dishonesty. Very good. Pallu. Do something not in a proper manner, illegally or dishonestly, especially when it comes to elections, rigging. Verdict, part of speech, noun. What is the meaning of the word verdict? Decision, final decision. You can also think of the word judgment. Verdict means what? Judgment. Pallu, very good. Exact word, judgment. Good, I appreciate your response. Keep responding, only then you can remember. That's all for today. Thanks for being with me till the fag end of the session. Have a nice day. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much.